All right, peace, welcome. Peace, Grand Rising. So, we're going to talk about why the narcissists, okay, come to empaths. If you follow many of my videos, you catch a little snippet of what I speak about when it comes to the healing process. Okay, peace, welcome. I'm gonna give some more people some time to jump in, but we need to talk about this because it all ties to the journey. It all ties to the journey. Now, not everybody, twin flame is a narcissist, but I'm talking to those. Most of the ones who are still in separation, you're most likely dealing with you're either a false twin or dealing with a narcissistic twin flame. Okay. Now you go check out my playlist. I talk about overstanding the ego, just teachings, help you overstand your life journey and where you stand in your healing processes. So go and check that out. So welcome. So let's talk about it, okay? Because some people can give you a ego-based theory on narcissism. Now, I'm not going to knock their information. Most likely, what they're saying is true, but there's always a deeper meaning. All right, there's always a deeper meaning to the journey. All right. Now, I'm not. Let me give my disclaimer. I'm not okaying and approving toxic behavior. When you experience toxic behavior and you cannot handle, and what I mean by handle is heal on your own, remember who you are, remember your purpose, then get away from it because it's not meant for you to, it's not your fight to fight, all right? So why narcissists come now? See, I'm gonna talk about the 3D level and I'm gonna talk about the 5D level, okay? So a lot of narcissists, whether they're the twin flame or not, and just a regular false twin or just a regular person you just meet and whatever, same shit as false twin. Most likely these people are soulless. Okay, so people don't realize that people can walk around this planet ego driven, society based driven. And this is why they hold on to their 3D image and their 3D illusions so much. This is why they're material based and in the zone. All right, because of the fact that they are lost. All right, they are an empty shell. There is no consciousness in there. Okay, there's no soul in there. Now, a lot of y'all, if you caught my live yesterday, I talked about how these spirits who lose control of their being, pretty much reincarnate into another vessel, and this is where you become twin flames. It's one soul, two separate bodies. So when a being cannot gain control of their vessel, they begin to, you know, move forward. And here you are today trying to figure out what's going on and why do you exist and so on and so forth and why does all this happen? It happens due to programming. All right. It happens due to the cycle of life. This is just what it is. But the problem is the programming. All right. The programming has to be changed for the better good, for the good of um, universal law. Now, centuries ago, and still to this day, um, we've been at a war. Okay, it's spiritual warfare. We've always been there since the beginning because there was always a jealous and envious being who wanted to be superior. So here we are today battling with the good and evil. Okay, um, causing division, literally causing division. The universe, God Most High, is definitely not happy. Has not been happy because of the simple fact that you know people are really losing touch with themselves. Okay, literally losing touch with their selves to the point where they're not being able to have a full, complete, conscious life where and that is the devil's plan. All right, that's the dark frequency plan, is to keep everybody at a low vibration where they're not able to enjoy or at least have the full experience or complete their mission. All right, so everybody, some people are created um, um, naturally and some are artificial. And you must understand this and you must accept this because these are the beings that you're battling. You're battling your lower selves with your higher self. Okay, they're trying to keep you from your purpose. Hence, here we are today talking about narcissists and why they come to empaths. Now, narcissists who are not it's pretty much your old self. You're battling with your old self. Now, people would say like zombies. People would say zombies or something like that. Well, these are the people. These are your zombies who return back from the dead. These are just your soulless beings who's just roaming this planet until they drop. Okay? Unconscious, creating havoc, all right? Because they're misguided. Now, their guidance is not internally, it's externally. And empaths are guided internally, all right? Now, twin flames with narcissistic, with a narcissistic twin flame, that is your old self. That is the self that you ejected from when it rejected you. So then you're reincarnated. Now, somebody who is, and you find each other, you find yourself, all right? You find yourself and you try to become one with it again. It's almost like cleaning your mess, okay? But you took full responsibility for your actions. You found yourself, and now there was a journey. There's a different type of journey with that. But then you have narcissists who are not um, driven, who is just ego based driven, okay? Their goal, and this is why they meet different people left and right, is to find themselves, okay? A lot of people, due to the trauma of their past life, has ejected out of their being and reincarnated. This is why we got different, so much going on. Is because your job was to wait until you pass before you wait until the body of your wait until your flesh expires before you move on to the next vessel. But due to the fact of the system being tampered with, the universe being tampered with, people are reincarnating without passing. All right, people are reincarnating without you know without the flesh dying. So we got a lot of soulless people roaming around. Okay, um, not accepting who they are as a being, having a problem controlling their being, which is just avatar. All right, your avatar. Like in a movie, you got avatar where you have to control, you switch your consciousness. People are able to do that, but see, they've lost control of it. They lost control of the grid to the point where people are willingly choosing to leave their beings, and their beings are just society based. It's society driven. So people are not loving themselves because of trending. People are not loving themselves because of money. People are not loving themselves because of the color of their skin. People are not loving themselves for who they are. Everybody's at war. There's too much division. It's pretty much chaos. And this is why we're experiencing a lot of people running into um, narcissistic soulless beings. Okay. Now they come to you, the conscious one, the awakened one. Whether you realize it or not, you are the key. You've always been the key. You are the answer. Now, some people feel like, you know, when you're earth minded and you're 3D based, you lose your track of mind. It's easy to be consumed by society. So, on a higher level, it's your job to be reminded. So it takes a specific journey for you to be reminded. Now, some of y'all might say, well, Essence, I watched a lot of narcissistic videos and these people are toxic. Of course they are. They are soulless beings. When you are not conscious, you do unconscious things, dumbass things. Granted, let's graduate from that knowledge. Let's keep it pushing to the next level. okay? Because this shit levels up from different levels, okay? Now, when they come to you, you don't always know who you are consciously, but you know deep inside there is something special about you. There's still a light inside you, and it is your job when you become a awakened person to help and assist others. Now, listen, you can't help and you can't save everybody. Sometimes you have to cut your losses and continue. If you do not see progress, if you don't see progress in a being and they're not catching it, they're not awakening due to the downloads you're sharing with them, you must move forward. Okay? But a lot of us are attaching ourselves with these beings. Okay? We are attaching ourselves and we are falling in love with them. Get it? Falling in love. You don't want to fall in love with anybody, because when you fall in love with anybody, you descend. You met them on their level. Matter of fact, you were below them. You fell for their illusion. You fell for their trickery. You fell for the game. Okay? And I know some of y'all was like, okay, Essence, it sounds just like my twin flame. He does this and he does that. But remember, so there was some that was mission to help this being, and there was some that are not. Okay? And the people who are mission to help this being and get hurt the most are not a part of that process. They cannot help this person. So they get hurt the most. Okay? When you're on a twin flame journey, you heal faster, believe it or not, because of the simple fact the soul that you share is one. So what it does when you're a twin flame dealing with a narcissist, it tells you ahead of time, and you can actually hear it louder and clearer what this being is up to and what this being is about to do. Okay? A lot of y'all experience that where you've experienced the soul near you, okay? And experience the soul talking to you and telling you when this person is lying and telling the truth. But you didn't understand and you didn't want to register the fact that this person is soulless, this person is detached, okay? And that you are this person and you are the reincarnation of this person, but you can share your essence with this person if this person chooses to accept the fact that they split themselves into half, okay? Okay. But the other half of it is the 3D base, the 3D illusion base, the false twin base, where you fall in love with a narcissist because you believe that you can fix them. But they don't make them the one. That just makes them somebody who need help. And if they do not grow from that, you move forward. But a lot of us empaths who, or a lot of those empaths who deal with empaths that are not, narcissists that are not destined for them to go down that journey to fight that battle, they get caught into a web of lies. Okay. Now, people want to say, oh, Essence, nobody has to deal with that, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes you got to realize you too, yourself, was a damn narcissist before you awakened. I'm pretty sure somewhere down in your life, you've used and abused somebody, you've neglected and rejected somebody, and so on and so forth. Okay. That's just what they do. But this is why it's important to pay attention to your journey to healing, because then you will be able to recognize somebody lost and somebody found. Okay, you would be able to recognize the shift, and you would be able, you got to pay attention. Okay, that's the point of learning, is paying attention and passing the test. All right. um well, we call it test, but it's a shift, you know because when it's all said and done, you're gonna get challenged with, like, say if you're a weak person, you're gonna get challenged by strength. All right. um So these people roam the planet today, and this is why we're going through what we're going through. But it's shedding, okay? It's the shedding of frequency, a low vibrational frequency. Now, if this narcissistic being chooses not to awaken again, because you can share souls, like this is the twin flame journey, is where you can share, you can give in exchange, you can share. You're so powerful, you can share your spirit into another body. But some of y'all don't know how to do that because you believe that you are divided instead of you are divided because you believe you're divided. So you have to manifest your union, believing that you're in union, living as if you're in union. Practice makes perfect. So To manifest is to manifest. Like people manifest, and don't say it's crazy. It's not crazy. People manifest what they want. If you want to be in a marriage, you manifest that. Your goals is focused. You're not fucking with temporary people. You don't care. You're focused, and boom, you end up married. Okay, even though I don't believe in the physical marriage, because it's till death do you part, and I don't promote till death do you part because all that shit is an illusion that is false. I'm here to guide to unconscious, unconditional love. So you travel with each other. Clearly, you travel to life with each other now. But so narcissists just they come to you for help. Okay, they come to you for help, internal help, internal guidance. It's not about just the physical. It's about listening to the intuition. When the job is done, it's done. But a lot of people, when their job is done, they get attached. They want more. They love it. Because see, empaths love helping people. They love scoring people. Codependent on this shit. You know what I'm saying? You love and we love helping people because that's who we are. But we're nobody's stepping stone. You just start when you start to help someone who just drains you, and rather you come into their world, misery loves company, they will pull you into their realm and you become stuck into their web and you become stuck into their Pandora's box. And they will have just pulled you down because you let your guard down. You're supposed to be strong as an empath. You're supposed to be wise as an empath. You're supposed to remember the game because you do this all the time. You're supposed to remember. So when you get pulled down into a narcissistic spell where they love bomb you and shit and you forget your way. You become fallen. You become a fallen angel, you become fallen and you fall for every fucking lie that they tell you because you believe that you're supposed to help them to the point where you lose yourself. No, you're supposed to save yourself. And those who do not want to follow will you have to let go. Okay, even if you're on the twin flame journey with a narcissistic twin, you have to let them go. Okay. Some people say, if you let it free, it will come. If you set it free, it will come back to you. It's meant to be. That's not always the case because narcissists do that all the time. They will leave you and they will come back to you and they will leave you because you believe in the 3D illusion that if you set it free, it will come back and it's meant to be. This is why you continue the pattern of falling in love because you believe that every time they came back, it's the time. It's the time now. Oh, it's the time. Oh, now's the time. And you consistently keep descending and descending every time. They must walk with you completely. That is oneness. All right? That half stepping coming in just to blow your back out and beat your cheeks in and get your wiener whacked, whatever. It's not love. That is what you call lust. And that is why people get caught in that lies all the time because they don't know the difference between love and lust. That is lust. Love is you walk together. You walk in unison. You walk with one heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? And so you're not making it. You're supposed to make it hard for the narcissist. You are a teacher. Teachers don't give students the answer to the test. You have to learn. You have to show them, guide them, but don't give them the answers like when it's testing time. When it's testing time, they come to you like, oh, and they love bomb the shit out of you during testing time, and you gave them all the answers. In your eyes, they passed. So they okay to go another couple of days, couple of weeks to fucking you over, and you fall for it. No, you show them what it's like, and then you let them walk it. Okay, experience is the best teacher, so they have to learn the hard way once they do not want, because they already didn't accept who they were in the beginning. They have to learn the hard way now. It's going to be tough. So a lot of empaths let their wall down because they don't have that toughness in them, and you have to be balanced to be a great, super empath. Okay, what they call a super empath. A super empath is a narcissist and an empath put together. That means you know the game and you know not to get shitted on, so you know better now. Okay, now nobody's telling you to fall for temptation and shit on this person because now you have the power of empathy, and you have the power to and say no. All right, so It's time and a place for everything. Be mindful how you use your gift once you awaken, because it can cause you to create so much chaos where you destroy other people's lives. You don't want to do that. You just want to continue moving forward. Block out any toxic energy that does not want to ascend. That is not your position. That is not your part. That is another empath job. That's why so many empaths out here is because once a person, and I'm not talking about they supposed to help them giving up the pussy, getting married to them, because all empaths need to know. All empaths will be reminded of who they are through trauma, okay, which is sad. When you didn't learn in the beginning, you got to learn the hard way. And the only way you learn the hard way is when you descend. Okay, you get that flame lit underneath that ass, and you ascend. You're like, I don't like this. I don't like the heartbreak. I don't like the fears. I don't like the worries. I don't like it. So you grow. You do what you got to do to grow, and you learned from it. So now you know. This is how you become a super empath, because now you know the now you know what it's like. Now you remember where you've come from. So you see, a lot of narcissists attach themselves to light beings, light people. Okay, they can't attach themselves to themselves. They cannot attach themselves. This is why a lot of y'all lose your partnerships. Okay, when you're twin flame and you lose your partnership, it's because you both are the same. Okay, you both are the same, and you both are dark. Okay, you both are, dark beings. So you can't feed off of each other. Every time you get around each other, you drain each other. You know what I'm saying? When you're on a twin flame journey, you drain each other. To balance it out, you have to at least be one of y'all have to be a light being enough to pull the other one out of that misery. Okay, and once they get a taste of once they get a taste, now you don't give them too much. A lot of y'all are so light when you give them too much. You feed them everything. You give them all your power to the point they can't handle it. It's too much for them. They just need to be balanced. They just need a stepping stone. Okay, don't give it up too easy. Slow it down. I'm not talking about just a coochie. I'm just talking about your energy. Okay, don't give too much of yourself to anybody if they don't work hard for it. And I don't mean work hard for it for a night. Work hard for them, light the candles and romantic shit. That's love bombing. I mean all the way to the end. That means every fucking time you're with them, you guys need to take it easy. Enjoy the moment. All right. But you want to speed it up. You want to get married. You want to have children. You want to do this. You want to do that. Speed it up. Speed it up. Speed it up. It's too much. Okay. Slow it down. And that way, when they mass start to shift, you will see it and you will be able to step back and save yourself, save your power. Okay. For those who, it's similar for those who are not twin flame narcissists, the same reaction is the same. This is why people is all like, well, what's the difference between a karmic and a twin flame? It's all the same treatment, yes, but there is one that is conscious, and there's a one connection that is conscious, and there is one connection that is not. One that is destined to be in this battle, and one that is not. The one who is destined to be in this battle don't get hurt as much. If they can get healed internally. All they have to do is go through 5D. When you go through 5D, dealing with a false twin, you do not see the other half of this being up there with you. You see an empty source of supply, so you move on faster. You move on faster being a false twin and dealing with a narcissist. Okay, so because narcissist is just that's just a behavior disorder. It's a mental disorder. Okay, it's just a physical, mental, behavioral disorder. All right. That can be overstand. That can be overcome. It just takes practice. Okay, these people were either spoiled too much or either um, lacked less love. Okay, because either way it goes, a narcissist could be created without balance. A narcissist, if a narcissist was raised imbalanced, they become a narcissist. Um, People who are raised balanced, which means they know the difference between good and bad, and they know the difference between working hard for this shit and earning this shit, then getting it free all their life. They learn the difference between the two. They will know that there's a difference. These narcissists don't know that there is a difference between not getting what they want to getting what they want. Okay. So when you as an empath, you help and assist, but once they bad, it's like a parent. Once your child is bad, you don't just say that's good, keep doing to them. No, keep doing. This is what happened with the narcissist. Bad. Somebody was like, oh, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. It's like when you get into a relationship, you teach them that it's okay to shit on you because you keep doing it, keep doing it. You keep coming back, keep coming back. So if they don't know that that's what you don't like by your actions, they're gonna keep doing it. So you keep giving them permission. They know actions speak louder than words. They know that. They're past that. Okay. So you just have to learn how to walk away from toxic people. All right. But when you're on a twin flame journey, you got to just focus on the 5D connection because until the body knows, until the body sheds its ego, you can't do shit to save them. All right. Both beings, whether they're narcissistic twin flames or not, they have to shed their ego in order to be a success. All right. But as long as they have that ego and it's bigger than life, they're going to go with that. All right. Being a twin flame dealing with a narcissist, you got to let them overcome their darkness. You can't do it for them. All you got to do is be that light at the end of the tunnel until they're able to see your light again. Then they'll be able to, they're going to come. Other narcissists are going to always come to you. They're going to feel your energy. These are, these are soulless beings who need their soul back. So they think that it's you. See, everybody's a like they said, everybody's a reflection of them. Well, they're looking for their other half. And here comes twin flames. But when they're finally the other half, they're not able to handle that much power because their egos and their prides are too big. You understand what I'm saying? Their perception of life is booty shaking bitches, hoes, fucking Gucci, Louis, Prada, Lamborghinis, Benzes. They ego based. So it's all bullshit. So they don't know how to manifest the other side of life, which is the true side of life. All right. Excuse my son in the background. He wants to get in. But hold on. What's the matter? Mwah. So that is pretty much what it is. I'm hoping that y'all understand this because um this is the raw reality of it. Like you can go and watch their videos, but you gotta understand that narcissists have mastered the ability to get on YouTube, okay, and tell you that and play the pity party. So you gotta be mindful. Some of them are narcissists and they don't realize it. Okay, narcissists don't always realize it. They might have ran into another narcissist because most likely everybody has narcissistic traits. Just depends on the level of the level that you're on when it comes to your ego. All right, just how deep you in it. All right, here you go. This is mostly how some false twins exist because they believe that they have met their other selves, but they're only mirroring the physical presence, the physical. All right, instead of the soul. See, Um, narcissists are just looking for themselves, all right? And I'm not trying to, like I said, let me give my disclaimer. I'm not trying to give them a pat on the back and give them an A-okay to be toxic. They just can't help being toxic because they've been misguided all their life. Okay, y'all done been through some shit in your past lives that's not a joke. It's a reason why. For twin flames, it's a reason why you left your being. Okay, when you finally meet your twin, most likely you pick up where they left off in your life. And you know it's not easy, but you were stronger because you saw it coming. Um, but those who are false twins, they would wake up out of that spell faster. Okay, they would wake up out of that bullshit faster. They just they would. But these narcissists are getting um more smarter where they're now infiltrated everything. They know how to fit in anywhere, everywhere. All right. Shit, I know I have narcissistic traits. I know that I have them, and that's what I'm working on. And is let me see what do I need to work on. Well, I think I'm getting there right now, but before, when when I met my twin, he when I met my twin, he pretty much shook my whole world. Now I'm not saying that I was out there being toxic, but I was most definitely not. um where's Ariana? All right, leave him alone, leave him alone, leave him alone, leave him alone. But I never really played with people's emotions. Okay. I just rejected. Well, I wouldn't say I was like I've just had some traits. Um, I would pretty much block people out. I still do that, but that's part of being a supernova, a super empath, whatever the fuck you call it. Because when I found out that what that was, I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense. Makes sense due to your life experience. You just gotta pay attention. So I became just a supernova. Like when I see red flags, I give them like 3 chances to not just relationships, but people in general. If you fuck up with me 3 times, I shouldn't even give you 3 times to like it could be small shit. Like if I tell you about me and keep it honest and keep it real with you, and you a type of person who would try to pull my boundaries down, as soon as I see them trying to knock my boundaries down, I shut their ass off real quick. And they like chickens with their head cut off because I'm a good person. That's what you empaths have to do. If people if you see them trying to break your boundaries down, you see what I'm saying? Try to get you to go against your own self. That shit is disrespectful. In the long run, it seems small, it seems petty, but it does pull you in a deep funk if you allow them to pull you out of it. Like if you told them, okay, well, I don't like doing this and I don't like doing that, but yet they push that towards you, like you're gonna do it. They just do it with action. Like you're gonna do it, and then they're like, "Didn't you just hear me tell you that I don't like that? I don't do that. I'm not into that. Whatever, whatever." It's like you trying. You know what I mean? So yeah, you gotta be tough. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of woman I am. Um, it could be like supernova behavior. Because like I said, once you learn the game and you learn that people will do whatever it takes to pull you and break your boundaries down just so they can get control over you. They do that. I've had people try me, and I remember people trying me to this day. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to cut you off real quick, real quick. The only person I allowed in my life to even like get that far was my damn twin flame because I was confused. I was lost in the sauce. I was like, what is this connection? I ain't never experienced this shit before. I just found out he was I just like found out he was a narcissist because I've known him from see off and on for 10 years, 10 years. And um I was like in the beginning I was like, when we first met, it wasn't even about the love bombing because be honest with you, I'm like a very masculine woman. I'm a feminine but tough ass female, so I knew the game when I got into the connection with him. Like when I got into the relationship with him, I really wasn't looking for anything serious. I was just young and having fun because we like 9 years apart. So I was just young and having fun. I didn't really care about being in a relationship. I was just trying to, get my cheeks beat. I didn't care. You know, I was trying to experience a much older man, and it just happened randomly. And then I remember years before that he was trying to come into my life, but I wasn't really like paying him no mind because he looked at completely different 3 years prior to. He said he was looking for me, and I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean you were looking for me? So I thought it was just a joke. I thought it was just game, whatever, whatever. So I didn't pay that shit no mind. So I know the runner chaser phase when it comes to twin flame journey because I pretty much ran for the first few years and until I realized I just awakened to who he about 5 years ago. Mind you, I've known him off and on for 10 years. So I've been running for like 5 fucking years from the fact of who he was to me. I just couldn't get it. I didn't understand it. I was like, why does this motherfucker keep coming back to me? So I didn't pay it no mind. I just realized like the narcissistic ways because mind you, I was shown the truth first, and then I was shown the the narcissist. I was shown the journey first, and then I was shown the narcissist journey. Because I was like, well, what's wrong with him? Now that I know who he is, what's going on? What's wrong with? Because when you ask spirit questions, spirit answer. Me, I didn't know that back in the days. I was just like, whatever. What is this coincidence or some shit? So, I'm like, whatever, what is this? Who is this guy? He can't be the one, blah, 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 blah. It was like, yeah, he's the one. He's the one. He's the one. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. I've been denying that shit for like the first 5 years and shit. Because I was like, how can somebody be the one if they doing this and doing that, doing this, doing that? But they broke it down to me over the next 5 years, and I realized, like, wait a minute. Okay, he's a narcissist. One of his old uh friends or side bitches, whatever you want to call it, had told me before. She was, when you tell somebody about somebody, you don't want to believe it because you're in this love bombing phase, whatever, whatever. Because I'm like, whatever, nah, nah, like, whatever, I'll learn it on my own time, because if you try to tell me this shit, I ain't gonna want to hear. I'm just gonna think you're a regular bitch just trying to get me to go away, which she was. She was trying, but she was also telling the truth too. I didn't realize he was a narcissist until 3 years ago. So I'm like, okay, well, he can't be the one, because, mind you, we were on here and there, but it wasn't nothing serious. Like, it wasn't nothing serious. Like, we were with each other like every day, but consciously, it just would not go away. So I thought, maybe I was tripping. A lot of spiritual shit been happening to me, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is not normal. This never happened to me in any other relationships. I would just easily walk away from this, right? But some people's like, I looked up soul ties and I try to compare it to my experience, and it was similar, but I'm like, well, it wasn't that bad. It was more like the soul was crying for help. So I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? Da, 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 da. So it was like, well, you have to learn. You have to learn you have to learn. And here I am today, being able to tell you my story about what happened to me and how I realized my twin flame was a narcissist. So I was like, oh, well, maybe he's a false twin, because all these sound like false twins, false story, right? But the soul just won't go away. So they taught me that it was a 5D connection trying to manifest into the 3D again. And that, I told you, I had my, let me see, I had my soul recognition. I had eye to eye recognition way before all of this. This was like probably like 3 years or so. Mind you, I wasn't looking him in his eyes the first 3 years. I wasn't really looking at him. I was just chilling. Like I said, I wasn't paying him no mind. I wasn't trying to be attached to him and nothing like that. For the first 3 years, I had soul recognition. We both had it a couple times. We both was like, where do we know each other from? What do we know? And I said, well, I know I don't know you from this life. I know that. And that's when I started questioning my reality and questioning what's going on. So I'm like, wait a minute, who the fuck is this guy? Like, why do I know this man? Why does his voice sound familiar to me? Why does, his appearance and stuff like that? He started to come into himself. He started to come into the vision that I've seen when I was a kid. He was there the whole time. And I believe it's vice versa to him. Like, he used to always tell his exes that he was looking for somebody. I remember one of his exes telling me, he keep talking about he's looking for a woman. He's looking for the specific woman. He's looking for the woman, that woman. So I'm thinking like, oh, he's just looking for a specific type of bitch. But he stopped saying that when he met me, because he did say it to me once. But once we had that soul recognition, he stopped talking about it. You know. Um, but that was a time when I pretty much like went on a spiritual journey when he had left and moved across the country, and I started feeling withdrawal. I was moving on, living my life, whatever. But I kept hearing his voice in my ear. I kept hearing all this shit. I kept seeing visions. He kept coming to my dreams and shit. And I'm like, what is this? What the fuck is this? So it's like the more and more I've tried to move on, the more and more he came. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, why does he keep calling me and asking me for help? So when I reach out to him, the body's like, in denial and shit. I'm like, all right, well, whatever. See ya. So um the little mixed messages and shit like that, like it was very real. I even had confirmation from my grandmother who had passed, and I will always my soul, my spirit will always go back to her house. And this time I was floating past her and she said to me, he is who you know he to be. And I'm like, well, I'm still trying to figure out who he is. And then I've had other spirit guides tell me he is the one, like he's the one that, he's the one. That's all they kept saying was just, he's the one. So I'm like, nah, this man, I've been in denial for so many years about this shit. But once I started accepting the fact that this motherfucker is tied to me, I started to do my work. And once I started to do my work, it was easy for me to awaken and manifest my life and start to figure it out. Like this whole connection, put me on my spiritual journey. Now, you don't have to come into your twin flame to have this connection, to have this awakening. Everybody has their own like near death experiences. They have their own awakening. People who run into their twin flame, their own awakening. People who were just traumatized, they have their own. It's different levels to awakening. I'm just telling you my story. Now, somebody may take the story and flip it to their own way, but that's your business. I don't care. You will face your fate one day, and they will tell you about yourself. That ain't for me to do. But I'm just sharing my story, you know. So, a friend of mine's, um, she, I said to her, I said, yo, I feel like somebody's hugging me, Mind you, this was like, what was it? It was like, this was like 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, when he and I separated, physically separated. Um, it was like something kept holding on to me, bear hugging me from behind. So I was like, what is this, right? I'm like, what is this? So my homegirl was like, well, maybe he's your soulmate. When I was telling her what was going on with me, I was like, nah, he can't be my soulmate because he's out there with another female right now. Like he out there with another female. That's not how soulmate's supposed to be. That's not how. So she was like, well, maybe he is. I was like, I don't know. So all of a sudden, the next day or two, I sat on it, I thought about it, and then I started researching soulmates. What is the symptoms and whatever the fuck it is of soulmates. So I looked. And I was like, nah, that's not it. And all of a sudden, a video came to me. It was soulmate slash twin flames. So I'm like, what? What is a twin flame? So I looked into it, and it was talking about the symptoms that I've experienced. I'm like, wait a minute, that shit sound familiar. So he's a twin flame or some shit, is what they call it, twin flames and shit. So I'm like, well, so I started researching twin flames. So I only researched twin flames for about a year before I let it go. Like, I don't even remember the last time I've actually watched a twin flame video. I don't like to really watch readings, but it will pull me into my path. Now, normally I can channel, but like I said, going through soul shock, I was just denying everything. I was in denial of everything. I was just running. So you don't have to run just physically. You can run mentally and emotionally. You can just detach. Like, I'm used to detaching from people. So I was detaching from the situation and he was reflecting it. But once I stopped detaching from the situation, he was coming in. So I mean, I know how to get my masculine in, um to come into union, but I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to. I don't want to do that because, like I said, me and him are 9 years apart. We both have children. We have a child together, but it's like I don't want to. I just don't want to be honest with you, because you have an option. You have an option whether you want to come into union. Like, it's just too much. It's just too much trauma. It's just too much. So it's either you have an option to love yourself whole, love yourself as one, or you can continue the journey to fight for the other being. Other than that, I just chose to let it go. I just chose to let the being go, and me and him became one within me. So we both live. I mean, I don't know if y'all can tell or not, but sometimes I switch back and forth from masculine to feminine because me and the masculine is within self. I've noticed that, and I'm like, when you meet your partner, you're supposed to exchange energies back. But the masculine and we just cannot get along on the 3D realm because he's too physical based, you know. And it's nothing I can do. Only way me and him could really come into union physically is if he let go of his illusion, let go of that 3D illusion of the way he want to live his life. But that's his own trauma he's dealing with, and whenever he do that, is that. But right now we in union because the motherfuckers stay laying next to me in spirit. It's just a lot. But he run away every man that comes next to me. Trust me. Every man that comes next to me is like, yo, I feel this big ass masculine presence around you, like smacking me in my face. I'm like, are they like punching him in their face and shit? And I believe y'all because I did see his spirit one day when I astral traveled out of my body real quick. We was in separation and it was just so much happening, y'all. When um when I was going through my dark night of the soul, I experienced the outer body experiences and astral traveling, dream traveling. We communicated in dreams and all that shit. Like, um, it was so much, y'all. How we even came into union, I was blacked out. Like, I was blacked out. How we even came into union, where I was in the middle of New Mexico crying, like, why am I here? Like, I came to full consciousness, like, why am I in the middle of New Mexico watching the sunset crying? Like, I'm like, my masculine is like, he was all the way in fucking the West Coast. So I'm over here on the East Coast. So I'm like, yo, he's like fucking all the way out there. And I'm like, why the fuck am I in the middle? I just came to full consciousness. I'm like, why am I in the middle of New Mexico? I don't cry. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? All of a sudden they said, keep going. I hear a voice saying, keep going, keep going. And they gave me the power. I don't know how I got the money for gas. I don't know how I was able to make it. My Mazda was able to make it. I'm telling you, but when I got there, it was beautiful. And then we ended up communicating. I don't even remember how we ended up communicating. It just all happened. It all aligned. And then we was with each other later that night. We didn't do anything, but we was around each other. Like he wasn't really happy physically, but spiritually he was. Well, I was at peace. I was just like, okay. I was just laughing internally and all that shit. It was just so funny. But he wasn't happy. His physical being was not happy. Still in denial. But yet he's the one who got me over there. He was the one like, yeah, come, because it was his voice. When I was like, yo, why is your voice in my head? Like, why? Because I remember one time he told me, he said, why you in my head? Why you in my head? I'm like, nigga, why you in my head? Why you in my head? You know what I'm saying? Like, I hear your voice too, but I mean, I'm living in my moment, I guess. And he's just like, well, I got other shit to do. I got other shit to do. I ain't, live my life. I was in jail most of the time. Blah, 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 blah. I ain't get a chance to live my life. Blah, 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 blah. Like, he got some important shit to make up for. That he ain't ready yet. He ain't ready yet. He ain't ready. He asked the guys who was I, and I heard the voice too. She's the one. And he was like, I ain't ready yet, and hauled ass. And he been running since, like, on once I've awakened, he been running since. But he's still running physically, but like I said, I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just moving forward, and I know I can feel his presence with me, and I'm just gonna rock with it because it's like shit just happened. Like all that I manifest is happening. So I'm not gonna chase the body into his own hell. I'm not gonna do that. It is what it is. The gods will deal with him now. I ain't got nothing to do with it. But I know what it's like. I know what it is, and I know what it's about. I mean, I know I can't be in no other relationship only for the fact that it would be a lie, and I made a vow not to live a lie or a lie. So um, that's my journey. So any dude that come to me, they expose themselves. Like I just see it. I just see it all. I see right through them, and it helps. Like it sounds on a 3D level, it sounds miserable and shit, but it do help. It helps. It helps a lot to see through people because it's like I don't care about being alone. You know what I'm saying? I was never the kind of person anyway to want to be around people like that because people I just knew when I was young, people just wasn't right due to my trauma that I've experienced when I was a child. Um, I just knew people wasn't right from then. So it is what it is. It's what you make it. So I'm gonna make it to the point where I'm just gonna travel the country and just explore what the creator created on this planet and enjoy my life. And that's better than being stuck in the house, fucking all day, having a bunch of fucking kids with a man who either don't know who he is or a man who is just lying to get some pussy. So I don't want to be nobody's little fucking fuck buddy, fuck thing, whatever, side chick, baby mama type shit. I don't got time for that. No, I got my two kids. I'm satisfied. I got my son and I got my daughter. I'm good. Um, I'm at peace. So I live to tell my story, and if it resonates with you, then take it. If it don't, leave it. But like I said, a lot of people are soulless. It's about oneness, about waking up. You go through your trials and tribulations. That's what it is. So I'm whole within myself. I'm in union with myself. And because I'm in union with myself, I got me, myself, and I. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit about physical. I got my kids. I don't give a shit about that physical shit of what they would call fucking and lusting and shit. I don't give a shit about the earthly love. This love that I feel inside me, I've accepted, and it feels amazing. I can laugh at a man coming up to me. I'm like, look at this damn fool coming to lie, coming to bag me. I'm just like over it. It just makes me sick now. It makes me queasy to my stomach when I see somebody trying to lie to me. It make me sick. You know what I'm saying? It just irritates me. So when you get to that level, you'll learn. You know what I'm saying? You'll learn. And you become wise, you become strong. Like narcissists are just soulless people, okay? They just ego-based minded people, driven by ego. So this is why they fight hard to keep their 3D illusion up. Your battle is with these people. It's either to help them, help guide them, or stay away from them. All right. A lot of people are waking up and realizing that these soulless beings do exist. All right, there are many more other beings that exist amongst this planet, including light beings. Um, and y'all gotta level up. This battle is not about just cuddling up, and just chilling and smoking and drinking and partying. That shit is the last thing that should be on your mind. We are a spiritual warfare between different dimensional realms, and we got to fight this battle so that way this splitting into two can't happen. People are supposed to be whole within themselves. People are supposed to come here and enjoy the frequency of life. We can't do that if there's an interference in the shift of realms. We wasn't supposed to be able to manifest into the body like that, split outside, just disappear. We wasn't supposed to be able to do that. If we were supposed to be able to do that, it would be a-okay. We wouldn't have to have this challenge to get back to oneness. We wouldn't have to. No, it's interference, interference, interference in the ether. All right, they out there fucking with the ecosystem and fucking with spirits and fucking with us. All right, and we can't do that. We can't have that. All right, we're not able to fulfill our destiny and our purpose because we're stuck in a time in some type of something. You get what I'm saying? Y'all read in between the lines, but it's real. All right, don't be distracted out here. Fuck all that Gucci, Louis, Prada, Fendi. Fuck all that Burberry bags and bullshit. Fuck all that shit. Fuck all that dumb shit. Y'all got to wake up. You got to wake up. This is a battle. Okay, this is a battle. This is your old shell versus your new. This is other people's old shell versus new. This is like fucking fighting the Walking Dead. You see what I'm saying? This is a battle. All right. Once you awaken and you find full consciousness, this is just what it is. All right. You ain't got to go out there and hurt nobody. That's my disclaimer. Go out there and hurt nobody because you now know that these persons are soulless beings, empty flesh. Don't do that. All right. They inhabited by bullshit and lies, but they'll have their day. None of these suits are permanent. Not even the suit you're in now. Your vessel is not permanent. Um, but while you're here, in the meantime, in between time, gain your consciousness and go and help heal the planet. All right, like you're supposed to. All right. All right. Peace and blessings to you all. Y'all stay tuned for my next video. I don't know when it's gonna be. It'll come to me consciously. It is what it is. Peace and blessings. Hope everybody find peace and balance within themselves. All right. If you're not fully whole within yourself, continue to keep enlightening yourself so that you can be. Don't be used and abused for nobody's pleasure. Okay. Um, Stay strong, and I teach because I don't want people to lose their way. This is my job as an empath. But if you do not learn, okay, if you don't learn, then you will continue to keep descending. So, all right, y'all, peace. Y'all stay tuned. If you want to support the channel, you can check the description box for either booking information or donation information. It's all greatly appreciated. Much love. Peace.